Lateral recumbent, attempting to assess the neck. Okay, I'm going to be seated. It would be better, and most people would agree, if I was actually going to try to move the head and neck. So I can kind of lift from the bottom and create the C. I can push down, right? Now, if I was to make a prediction, let's just say I was doing this. If I was to make a prediction which side would be more restricted when I did this, when I applied pressure to it, would it be the top side feeling firm and restricted and not able to yield, or would it be the bottom side more likely? The bottom side more likely. So this becomes a problem test. It's not going to do much. I'm not going to stand in front or behind and lift the head and neck. I'll just do it from here, right? Right, I'm squishing her ears, and she doesn't like this in the slightest. It's trash, but you know, I can just do this. Or I can stand up and reach really far and work really hard. Or I can consider the concept of relational motion. One thing stays still, one thing moves in relation to it. So if I lift the head or to side bend or rotate, I have a still torso, moving head and neck. I can have a still head and neck and moving torso. So I can do something like this, palpate here. I'm going to bring her into a relative neutral. Like you already don't like this in your neck. Is that fair? Yes. Okay. The way that I know is that I have a general span of my hand across her neck, and immediately, so that would be about the point where you don't feel much in your neck. Is that fair? Yeah. Okay. That's a serious tummy noise. It's okay, don't be. It's a tiger. So now yeah, right? She purred. So everybody knows the term berberigmy. It's the sound that abdomens make. Sometimes you hear it outside, and sometimes it's only inside, so you put a stethoscope, and it's blah, 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 blah. It's just noise. There are definitely people who, because I did this, like, you got the vagus nerve and stimulated digestion. I'm like, oh no, it's just noise. Okay, so that's relative side bending. This is not side bending of the neck. This is a relative test. It is relatively moving the shoulder girdle in relation to a still neck. So there are tissues that span from the shoulder girdle to the neck that will be involved in side bending. Okay, so I'm getting a relative read. If I were to test her neck, if she was in seated or supine, I would get some degree of different information because the test is cleaner. If I'm going to look at rotation, I can pick her head up and do this, right? Or I can have a still head and neck and a relatively moving torso. So again, general span. Like, you already don't like this, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And again, it's just the tissue popping in my hand. And that generally feels nice, right? Mm-hmm. She said, mm-hmm. Because the mic won't always pick this up. Now we're getting to a point where you don't really feel this in your neck. You feel it in something else, right? Yeah. Yeah, shoulder girdle-ish. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like maybe between your shoulder blades, it just doesn't feel nice.
Actually, in my forehead.
In your forehead? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. But in a relative sense, I can keep the head and neck still and move the torso in relation to it, and I can get information about that, but it's not a rotational assessment of the neck. It's relative. So the things that will span from the shoulder girdle or from the torso to the neck and generate both of those movements, I'll get some information about. So if her neck was a mess and treating her in supine, she just couldn't let go, I can put her here and I can find more information. I can test again, and then I can make a treatment decision based on that because she's more comfortable. This is not the top of the hierarchy. This is second order stuff, but it's available to me should I need it. And because she's in a position where I wouldn't have found it initially, I can get new information here, make a decision here, treat, put back in the initial position, and reassess. And if it worked, fantastic. If it didn't work, I got another crack, and maybe she feels better and more relaxed. Okay? So you can push the button.